Eala joins Kooyong Classic as final prep for Australian Open. Manila, Philippines. No rest for the weary. Eala, hungry for more, turns her eyes to the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne for her final build-up ahead of her highly anticipated main draw debut in the Australian Open. Until my heart stops. So close yet so far. Thank you, Auckland, for the warmest hospitality to start the year. I truly felt the Wairua, said Eala, who's already off to the land down under, following a semi-final run in the ASB Classic in Auckland. Eala, ranked number 53 in the WTA, is one of 4 WTA players listed so far for the Kooyong Classic scheduled from January 13th to 15th, an exclusive, by-invitation-only exhibition tournament serving as a sidelight to the Australian Open. Joining Eala are 2024 Wimbledon semi-finalist and Paris Olympic silver medalist Donna Vešić, WTA number 69, of Croatia, whom she beat in Auckland, number 121 in home bet Priscilla Hun, and the 42-year-old legend Daniela Hančićova, a multiple Grand Slam mixed doubles champion from Slovakia. Eala's Kooyong Classic stint as the youngest player there comes on the heels of her impressive Auckland campaign for her first tournament this season. As the number 4 seed, the 20-year-old Filipina strung 3 straight wins before absorbing a 7-5, 5-7, 4-6 loss to China's Wang Xinyu, WTA number 57, for a full title shot in New Zealand. But not all was lost as she hit a bevy of milestones in U. Aside from netting her 3rd career WTA semifinal appearance, Eala is projected to reach a new career-best WTA ranking at number 49 according to live tracking. Her previous best was number 50 at the end of the 2025 season, making her the first Filipina ever to reach that peak. Eala did it by slaying Croatian aces Vešić, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, and WTA number 82 Petra Marcinko, 6-0, 6-2, as well as WTA number 52 Magda Linette of Poland, 6-3, 6-2, in the first 3 rounds. With American partner Iva Jovic, WTA number 35, Eala also reached the Final 4 in the Auckland doubles before bowing against the 3rd-seeded Chinese tandem of Xu Yifan, WTA number 40, and Yang Zhaoxian, WTA number 44, 7-5, 6-3. The Filipino-American tandem stunned the seasoned tandem of former world number 3 Elina Svitolina, now number 13, of Ukraine, and multi-titled Venus Williams of the United States, 7-6, 9-7, 6-1, in round 1 before a walkover win against Czechia's Jessica Malikova, WTA number 72, and Mexico's Renata Zarazua, WTA number 84, in the quarterfinals. After Kooyong, the lefty sensation heads to the Australian Open, where she has, for the first time ever, earned direct entry into the main draw as a top 50 player. The Australian Open remains the only Grand Slam main draw Eala has not played in after the French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open, after multiple qualifying round exits as a wildcard. A winner of the Australian Junior Doubles crown with Indonesian Priska Madeline Nugroho in 2020, Eala had only figured in the qualifiers of the Australian Open until this year after her meteoric rise in 2025. The Melbourne summer has a certain sound to it. The hush before a save, the rustle of eucalyptus leaves, the distant echo of a ball meeting strings with a clean, confident pop. It is the sound of beginnings. And this year, at the storied lawns of Kooyong, that sound carries a new rhythm as Alexandra Eala steps into the Kooyong Classic, using the exhibition as her final rehearsal before the Australian Open. Kooyong has always been a place of memory. Before Melbourne Park became the home of the Australian Open, champions were crowned here, their names stitched into tennis folklore. To walk onto these courts is to walk into conversation with history. For Eala, still writing the opening chapters of her professional journey, Kooyong is not a museum. It is a classroom, a stage, and a proving ground all at once. She arrives not with noise, but with intent, a different kind of spotlight. The Kooyong Classic is not about ranking points or trophy pressure. There is no brutal draw, no 2-week survival test. Instead, it offers something subtler and, for many players, more valuable: clarity. Matches here are about timing, rhythm, and confidence. For Eala, it is the ideal environment to sharpen her game without the suffocating weight of Grand Slam expectation. In the warm Melbourne air, she moves with a quiet assurance. Her left-handed strokes carve angles that feel deliberate rather than flashy. Each rally is a conversation, between instinct and discipline, ambition, and patience. Kooyong allows her to listen closely to that conversation, to make adjustments before the real test begins across the city at Melbourne Park. From promise to presence, Eala's journey to this moment has been defined by patience. Long before the Kooyong crowd catches sight of her compact backhand or measured footwork, she has already lived through years of early mornings, distant tournaments, and the constant recalibration that defines life on tour. Progress in tennis is rarely linear, and Eala understands this better than most. Joining the Kooyong Classic feels less like an arrival and more like a declaration. She belongs in these conversations now. Not as a curiosity or a future headline, but as a competitor preparing with purpose. There is something symbolic about her choosing Kooyong as a final tune-up. The venue itself bridges eras, grassroots and modern ambition coexisting in quiet harmony. For a player balancing development with belief, that symbolism matters. The art of preparation. Preparation, at this level, is an art form. It is knowing when to push and when to pause, when to test limits and when to protect energy. At Kooyong, Eala experiments with patterns. A serve placed wider than usual, a retain taken earlier, a rally extended just to feel the burn in her legs and the steadiness of her breath. These matches are not rehearsed performances, they are sketches. Some lines are bold, others tentative. Mistakes are not failures but notes scribbled in the margins, reminders of what needs refining before the Australian Open's unforgiving spotlight switches on. Between points, Eala's expression remains composed. She is learning the most difficult skill in tennis, emotional economy. Not every moment deserves reaction. Not every error demands frustration. Kooyong, with its relaxed atmosphere and knowledgeable crowd, offers the perfect setting to practice this restraint. The weight of opportunity. For many players, the Australian Open represents chaos, crowds, cameras, expectation. For Eala, Kooyong acts as a filter, stripping the game back to its essentials before the storm arrives. Hey, she can feel the ball on her strings without distraction, hear the advice from her team without noise overwhelming it. The opportunity is not just to win matches, but to arrive at the Australian Open centered. To step onto the hard courts of Melbourne Park already familiar with Australian conditions, already in rhythm, already believing. Kooyong whispers a reminder that tennis is still, at its core, a game. A demanding one, yes, but a game nonetheless. That reminder is a gift. A glimpse of what's next. As spectators settle into their seats, some come for nostalgia, others for curiosity. They watch Eala rally, serve, and problem-solve in real time. They may not all know her full story, but they sense something building. There is an energy in players on the cusp, those not yet defined by limits, still shaping their